Okay, I wanted to make a video about barter items for shit hit the fan. I'm going to disagree with many people here, and I'm going to explain why. Now, a lot of people say, you could use food for trading for just about anything, and that antibiotics would be worth their weight in gold. And I think, you know what? I think it'd be worth immensely more. You're talking about someone's life. They need medicine. They need antibiotics, right? They may not be able to live without it. But that's a double-edged sword, man. If you have what they need, and they know you have what they need, and they have nothing to lose, what do you think's going to happen if they're that desperate? Now, you can, of course, give it to them, yes, but let's say you couldn't. It wasn't just that simple. You never know. Let's say you have a 15-year-old, 16-year-old or something that was working on the garden, cut himself, got an infection somehow, and somebody else that you were trying to trade with a couple weeks before, hey, I've got this, I've got these boots, I've got some antibiotics, I got some batteries, and they remember, hey, wait, this guy got the antibiotics. They're going to come looking for you. Hey, look, man, I'm sorry, I don't have those anymore. You think they may not believe you. I mean, people are kind of crazy when things get bad. They may be persistent, they may try to hurt you, they may try to go through your stuff and find it, they may, you don't know. If they have nothing to lose, I think that'd be a very bad idea. That's something you want to keep and be very careful with it. And food is the last thing you want to trade with, because if people are in that bad of shape, and they're hungry, they're starving to death, they have kids that are hungry, yeah, you can try to help, but you better be careful. I watched the video I did on that, not to be a victim. You give the wrong person stuff and they blab, it'll get you killed without meaning to. But you got to be careful about that. I don't think that's the way to go. If somebody sees them, they see them with empty cans or something, or MREs or whatever you give them. Hey, where'd you get that? Oh, I got it from this house right over there. You could have a whole mob on your hands, man. You never know. What do I think would be good things to trade with? Work gloves, maybe some boots, good pair of boots. I mean, everybody's gonna have different sizes, but maybe if you wear a popular size, maybe. But work gloves. I read this article about this guy. During the Bosnian War, he said that lighters were, very, very valuable. So stock up on disposable lighters, right? Old clothes, especially like children's clothes. Kids grow out of clothes quickly, man. If you put that in a box, someone's going to need that. That would be a very good way to go, and you might need to trade, clothes for some other clothes. Hard candies, something that won't go bad, right? That would be a luxury item. That's probably something that they would go for, right? Of course, alcohol. That might be a good way to go. You can, for here and there, people are always going to want booze when the economy is doing great, or I guess in a bubble, and people think it's doing great, right? Bars make a lot of coin. When times are bad, down in the dumps, bars make a lot of coin. So that's always going to be a good way to go. Now, cigarettes, on the other hand, I don't know about that one. First off, they're going to get old and stale. You can put them in a humidor with the cigars or something, I guess, but they're going to lose flavor. I don't know about that one. And second, man, I have seen people put back food for cigarettes, right? You get addicted to that shit, and you don't think the same. I know people that get really, really pissed off. Imagine being hungry and scared and tired, and on top of that, having withdrawals from that. from nicotine withdrawals. You know, they can really, I mean, be like somebody addicted to drugs. You know, they need that shit. They need that fix. I'm not comparing them exactly, you know, apples to apples, but you know, if somebody's addicted to something, man, they may not be the same person, especially with all the stress. I don't think cigarettes are a good way to go. Ammunition, I don't know about that, man. I mean, if you can't get more, why trade what you have? I mean, let's say I have a couple 9mm, right? Let's say I have 5 9mm handguns in my family and group or whatever, and there's like 145. And you know, of course, if something happens to the 45, there's no need for the 45 ammunition. So then, yes, okay, fine, I don't need this 45 anymore. Then it'd make a good trade item. But buying ammo to trade it later, I don't know about that. I mean, you could put it to something you could use. Put it to a caliber that you have and you're going to keep. Right? And some people have, I see them, this friend of mine likes to buy ammunition for, if he sees it on at a good price, for guns he don't even own. Because he's like, well, I can always get something for it later, you know. And he's right. I mean, he's got boxes, you know, $5.99 or $1.99 on some ammunition that's been, you know, put up for years. I guess it's in a way it's an investment, yes, but I would say invest it in something you can actually use, right? Not in something you can't use, and something you may not be able to trade later. If you can't trade it, you use it, right? And if you can't replenish it, then you probably don't want to replace it in the first place, right? Tools, I think that'd probably be a good way to barter with. Of course, if you have skills, you can always barter skills for food or whatever you may need. I think that precious metals, if you look at other collapses in the past, people would come in with supplies. They take metals, coins composed of metals or metals collected. I forget what you call it, but you know, collected from the river. Sold like in Zimbabwe, and then these guys take the supply or sell supplies, take the metals, go across the border. They make some money. They bring back more supplies. So even though the people got overcharged big time for the food, is it better for them to be overcharged for the food than not have the food and die? Right? That's the way I see it. I'm like, you know what? Hey, I would rather have something to there to buy if I really need it. And if I really need it, I'm going to overpay. That's what I'm prepared to do myself. If in a life or death, you know, hell, I don't care. That's fine. You know, he'll get his own. Karma will get him later, but I just got to take care of myself. So it'd be good to have metals, like silver especially. I'm a big advocate of silver. Junk silver, dimes, probably. Copper pennies and nickels. Nickels are 75% copper, 25% nickel. Right? The base metal would have value. And, you know, even though probably it wouldn't do much good here, if people were to bring stuff in and sell that later for a profit, you know, there you are. Because you may say it's only a nickel. Well, yeah, but, I mean, you look at how much paper money is out there, how much would be coming back. Well, there you go. My dad says that he used to be able to go for a quarter, watch a movie, and stay there all day. You know, try doing that now for a quarter. That's how much value we've lost. You know, penny machines, and penny candy, and all that. I mean, you know, there's actually some value there based on the scarcity. But anyway, just something to think about, guys. Small toys, hard candy, clothing, work gloves, disposable lighters, maybe flashlights, if you can find those cheap flashlights, the shake flashlight. I remember I found some. I forget what happened to them, but there were little shake flashlights that were like $2, $3, something like that, at Walgreens. No batteries. You just shake the son of a bitch and you got light. Right, something like that. Batteries eventually going to lose their charge anyway, especially if you live in where there's a warmer climate. In a warmer climate, it's going to deplete them. Right, but keep in mind, if you have what people need and they have nothing to lose, they can be very, very dangerous. So that's you got to look at it not only from your perspective but by theirs, and what might be the situation. You know, if they're really desperate, that may not be the best way to go. You can't reason with somebody that has nothing to lose and doesn't care, right? Anyway, just something to think about, guys, really. All right, I'm out.